People are usually familiar with Greek mythology through the stories of Zeus, who was the first firefighter in the world, because wherever he went, he wanted to put out fires. However, Greek mythology, or any mythology that was created, was not made for the purpose of explaining the lustful urges of an ancient god, but rather to explain the origins of all things in the world. Material things, natural phenomena, so that we would know why there is earth, why there is sky, and why one should not engage in relations with blood relatives. If we were to simplify Greek mythology, then whatever the Greeks could not explain, they called gods. From very obvious gods, like the god of the sea, the god of thunder, the god of the sun, to strange gods like the god of wine, the god who was born from the genitals of another god, or the god who bathed in a tub to restore her virginity. But do not think that these are silly stories, simple and illogical. Greek mythology consists of stories that express the beauty, the magnificent creativity of the Greek mind in particular, and of humanity in general. Sometimes a bit too creative beyond what was necessary. To this day, Greek mythology remains very popular, not only because it contains many valuable lessons, but also because it has a lot of sex and killing. From basic sex to incestuous bestiality, and then killing, just killing. Some people kill their entire clan. Some people kill their own family. That is the reason why Greek mythology has such appeal, because it is full of the wild, primal nature of humanity. A feeling that today we rarely experience when lying on warm blankets, soft mattresses, in air-conditioned living rooms. Greek mythology has 3 ages: the age of the gods, the age of heroes, and the age of mankind. Today's video, and a few more videos after this, will be about the age of the gods. Before there was the god who dropped lightning bolts, or Apollo the sun god, the Greeks conceived that the world began with nothing at all. Deep, vast, and empty, like the English-speaking ability of beauty pageant contestants who ran out of battery. This beginning was called chaos, the confusion. Chaos existed before space and time, and existed outside of space and time. Definitions like happiness, suffering, love, money, power did not exist in the realm of chaos. This entity was indifferent to the world and all its fleeting, petty matters. Chaos enveloped and drifted throughout space with its deep, vast, and empty nature. Until one day, Chaos got bored of the emptiness, so he went to Spain. Oh, I mean, he actually did something useful. So Chaos gave birth to Gaia, which is the Earth. Gaia is the mother of all living things, so Gaia's chest is large. Next, Chaos gave birth to Erebus, darkness, Nyx, the night, Tartarus, hell, and Eros, love. The god who carried a bow and arrow and went around distributing love, desire, and lust. There is one small problem with Eros. That is, this dude was born with a mischievous temperament, and then he was also blindfolded. So the arrows of love often flew to the wrong place at the wrong time. Blind and irrational, causing extremely much suffering for humanity. And so the world was originally born full of night, darkness, and hell. Love was blind, causing humans to only know how to scrape the earth to eat. In the first family meeting of the universe, the priority now was to develop the species and establish the ecosystem. There were 3 choices, and so Nyx and Erebus married each other. The marriage of night and darkness gave birth to day, Hemera, and light, Ether. From then on, the world was filled with light. Day and night took turns reigning. Gaia, with the cosmic bust, won the championship of childbearing when she gave birth to the sky. Uranus, the mountains, Urea, and the sea, Pontos. After that, Gaia, being lonely with no one to befriend, married her own son, Uranus, and gave birth to 3 generations of children. 3 one-eyed giants, Cyclopes, not violent, but sensitive. The garden they forged lacked nothing. These 3 brothers were Arges, Steropes, and Brontes. 3 giant monster gods, Hecatonchires, Cottus, Briareus, and Gyges. Each monster had 100 hands and 50 heads. But fortunately, they were not red, because red devils only have top 6. At this point, you might wonder why Gaia and Uranus gave birth to such hideous creatures. Then the answer is, bro, what do you expect from an incestuous birth? But actually, this birth was quite successful. Gaia and Uranus together gave birth to 12 titans. Among them were 6 male titans, including Oceanus, the embodiment of all oceans and water sources. He had the power to control the sun, the moon, and the stars. Oceanus was an introvert, so he lived separately from his siblings at the bottom of the deep sea. He never participated in gatherings with the gods. The remaining 5 brothers were Chaos, the embodiment of wisdom, Cronus, the constellation Aries, because I said so, I give up, Hyperion, the embodiment of light and protection, Iapetus, the embodiment of skill, the ancestor of mankind. Iapetus was important because he gave birth to 4 qualities of humanity in the form of 4 gods, including Prometheus, the god who later brought fire to humanity, the embodiment of intelligence, and an alien movie that was somewhat disappointing to watch. Epimetheus, the embodiment of ignorance. Atlas, the embodiment of graduation exams and enduring strength. Atlas would later replace his father alone in holding up the sky. And the last son of Iapetus was Menœtius, the embodiment of arrogance and violence. The final god was Cronus, the embodiment of time, the one who would overthrow his father to rule the gods. Oceanus was the god of the sea, and Cronus was responsible for time. The Titans were born with the mission of being pillars for the sky, which is Uranus, so that the sky would not collapse onto Mother Earth, Gaia. The sky had 4 pillars. Creos, the constellation Aries, was the pillar in the south, because that is where the Aries constellation rises. Coeus, wisdom, was the pillar in the north. Iapetus, skill, was the pillar in the west. And Hyperion, the god of light, was the pillar in the east, because light must be in the east. The job of stabilizing the house was complete and adequate. Now it was time for the Titans to marry. But at this time, who was there to marry? Marry Gaia? No. Uranus and Gaia gave birth to 12 Titans, of which there were 6 male Titans and 6 female Titans. The female Titans were, in turn, bound by the blind love of Eros, married, and procreated with their Titan brothers. Oceanus, who managed all water sources in the world, married Tethys, the nurturer, and they also gave birth to as many children as there is water. They nurtured 3,000 sons and 3,000 daughters. Titan Coeus, wisdom, married Phoebe, also wisdom. And as an inevitable consequence, too much wisdom gives birth to suffering. The 2 gods of wisdom gave birth to Leto and Asteria. Not that these 2 sisters were goddesses of suffering, but they were so beautiful, and this beauty caused countless troubles and suffering for themselves. Much of this suffering was related to the stamping machine Zeus. Titan of light, Hyperion, also married the female Titan of light, Theia. And when light combined with each other, they gave birth to the sun, Helios, the moon, Selene, and the water bottle ether form frozen, Eos. Cronus, time, married Rhea, and she gave birth to Hestia, goddess of the hearth, Demeter, agriculture, Hera, marriage, and 3 sons. Hades, Poseidon, and the one responsible for the thickness of Greek mythology. The story of Zeus and Hera is still very much and fascinating, so there will be one video or a few separate videos. The remaining Titans, some also married and procreated. Those who had not married were assigned jobs. Titan Themis, who had not married anyone, was appointed as the embodiment of order and justice. Titan Mnemosyne procreated, and she was the keeper of humanity's memory. And so the Titans thrived and multiplied, and gave birth to the next generation of grandchildren, the gods of wind. Some were fierce, some were gentle, but everyone let humans kill them. And that is the explanation of the ancient Greeks about the origin of the universe and the world. The universe was born from chaos. From chaos came darkness and night. Darkness and night merged with each other, giving birth to light, day, and air. The earth was also born from chaos. Then the earth gave birth to the sky, mountains, sea. The children of earth and sky gave birth to the sun, moon, wind, machines, and all sorts of things. The Greeks also had a clear concept of love. Love is something pure and beautiful, but it is also something enchanting and fragile, causing suffering for humanity. The sky is up high and does not collapse because it is supported by skill, wisdom, light, and the constellation Aries. I do not understand why the Aries constellation much. But anyway, the sky, Uranus, in this period ruled over everything. But his reign did not last long, because right when his wife, Gaia, gave birth to the Cyclopes and Hecatonchires, Uranus found them too ugly and hideous. So he stuffed them right back into Gaia's womb, which is the Earth's core. This made Gaia extremely painful. So she created a sickle and gave it to the Titans, led by Cronus, to deal with their father. The Titans previously were the 4 pillars to lift the sky up. But now they turned against the sky, so the sky collapsed. Cronus led his brothers, cut off his father's genitals, and threw them into the sea. Uranus was in pain. His blood flowed down to the earth, creating the goddesses of vengeance, Erinyes, and the giants, Gigantes. And his penis became the goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite. Cronus then freed his siblings from the Earth's core and became the king of the divine realm. From this part of the story, we can see the shift in belief and the position of the Greeks compared to nature. At first, they feared the sky because the sky was cruel, bringing countless calamities and dangers. But later, as society developed more, humans resisted nature better. They were no longer so afraid of nature, so the sky was overthrown. But humans still had to surrender to a god equally powerful and cruel, and that was time. Time is more cruel than the sky. With enough time, all achievements can be destroyed. But time also does not reign forever, and that story we will explore in the next video. Do not forget to subscribe for me so you do not miss videos about knowledge, mythology, literature, and many other things.